What up, everybody? Oh yeah, it's that time again. Here at the Lucha Lounge, I present to you our IWE report for the week of April 18th, 2009. So much to cover. And I will get to the invitation here shortly. But let me cover a few things first. I got to give some thank yous. Now, on April 4th, for those that were there, I definitely want to give a big thank you to those who showed up early morning, 11 a.m., prepared for some action. You know, some who were going to ROH after our show. You know, the guys who hung around and got to enjoy the show. I definitely want to thank the talent who you know, got an early start and definitely did not disappoint. You know, anyone who watched that show definitely knows that they definitely did not disappoint. And a big thank you for those guys. Big thank you to the crew, the guys from Dojo Productions, for providing help and lighting and you know, video and all of that. I definitely do appreciate it. You know, sorry for kind of the late edition of this this video, but you know, I've been busy. If you've watched my videos, you know that had All Star last weekend. You know, just busy man, and trying to continue to host this show and bring you tons of entertainment. So let me get into the rankings as I see them. Now, for those who have been keeping score, keeping track, the IWCS is not just comprised of me. It's not just comprised of Darius. It's not just comprised of the boys. It's not just comprised of the crew. It's comprised of the fans as well. So if you go to iweslam.proboards.com, or you go to our MySpace, or you know, you decide to comment on this video, we take all of that into account and select what our Magnificent Seven is going to be. Now, the significance of the Magnificent Seven, aside from the catchy nickname, is that on May 2nd, our Crowning of a Champion DVD, the Magnificent Seven will face one another in a one-night tournament to determine who our champion's going to be. Now, 2 through 7 will face each other in individual matches that will be set up, you know, prior to May 2nd, but on May 2nd we'll have those. The number one ranked person will move forward and actually be in the finals, and we'll take the winners of the 2 through 7 matchups, and you know, the finals will be a 4-way elimination to determine our very first IWE champion, and it'll be what will cap off our very first DVD. And I promise you on this DVD quite a bit. You know, I'm a very ambitious person. I'm going to speak to the crew of Dojo Productions and hope that we bring you a DVD that not only gives you some of the best wrestling action, but gives you a little insight, a little, you know, access to what these guys are thinking as far as the IWE, wrestling in general, becoming champion, you know, being involved in the Magnificent Seven, so on and so forth. Now, without further ado, let me talk about the rankings. Now, these are just my opinion, you know, and I'm one vote amongst a whole lot of votes, and I'm not sure how the rankings are going to play out, but this is pretty much how it's going for me so far as of today. Starting with number 7, your feature presentation, Adrian Sensation. I got to say, you know, kind of an upset loss for Adrian Sensation on the last show. 2 losses if you count the loss of Rubio, who will be out on April 18th, will not be available to manage. So the founder, I wish him well of Imperial Entertainment Worldwide. You know, I hope Rubio has a speedy recovery and comes back stronger than ever, and I'm sure he's not going to miss the May 2nd DVD, but you know, needs a couple of you know, needs a week to recoup from the dastardly move of VIP. But you know, I got to chuckle about it because I think a lot of people saw that Rubio had it coming. So you know, Adrian Sensation, as far as I'm concerned, is number 7. He's on the bubble. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the guys underneath the bubble or not in the Magnificent Seven, but I will talk about, you know, the top 7. Now, moving forward, number 6. You know, this guy came into April 4th, you know, with a pretty good record, and after 15 minutes could not finish off Q. And then an additional 5 minutes. And anyone who watched this 20-plus minutes of action was blown away by these two guys. But, you know, in the number 6 spot, unfortunately, is Chaotic. Still kind of, at least he's in the rankings. But number 6. Now, number 5, due to a loss, his first loss of the year, first loss in IWE. I'm speaking of Locke of the Crusaders. Faced Gustavo Mendoza and did not come out on the winning end. So I've relegated him to number 5 in my rankings. Number 4, speaking of, Gustavo Mendoza came out very impressive in his win. I've always been impressed with Gustavo. His mind for wrestling. I think he definitely always brings it. And I wish him the best of luck this weekend, and I hope that he does pretty well. Number 3, again, after 20 minutes, really back and forth, the guy from day one has proven that he is not just lives up to Mysterious, but he is way too athletic for his own good. And I'm speaking of Mysterious Q, number 3. Really didn't lose any ground after the time limit draw, and I think he gained a lot more respect from a lot of the guys in the back as well as the fans who got to watch him. And I think people are just chopping at the bit to see what this guy can do, on our April 18th show. Now, number 2. This guy was inactive. I really didn't feel like he needed to move up or down, and I'm talking about VIP. Definitely living up to his name, and took out Rubio, was in the main event, gave the fans something, gave them a reason to go home happy and go on to their next event happy, wherever they might have been. Really got to give massive props to VIP. And finally, number 1, as far as I'm concerned, from another one from day one, he along with his fellow Crusader Locke, I'm talking about Poppin. Well, Poppin's undefeated. Well, regardless of how Poppin got there, he is undefeated and had a big victory against Adrian Sensation. So there you have it, 1 through 7. Now let me talk about the April 18th card. It is jam-packed, and really, like I've told guys, this is the last chance for them to impress the IWCS, which includes the fans. It's their last chance to really be seen, let people see what they bring to the table, and this really will determine how the Magnificent 7, falls into place. A lot of matchups here. It could be another. It's always pretty. It's a big roller coaster ride since the IWCS inception and since IWE started doing shows. And this show will be no different. I think, even though our May 2nd is coined our very first DVD taping, I think anyone who comes to the IWE shows definitely sees DVD quality matches every time out, because every match means something. None of these guys can just kind of cruise into the tournament. They really have to impress, because the higher up you are, the more chance you have to make it to the finals and have a chance to be the very first IWE champion. But let me cover the card. You're gonna see Gustavo Mendoza, who I've said is number 4 in our rankings, against a guy who watches my back, Cash. So Cash demanded that he get another match, and being 1-1, anything could happen. This guy's one of those guys on the bubble. You never know. I mean, he pulls out a victory against Gustavo Mendoza. He could very easily be in the top 7. If Gustavo falls, there you go. If he gets a win, he could even move up. So there could be a lot of shuffling. Another match to talk about. Even without Rubio, this guy definitely lives up to being your feature presentation. Always likes to go out there and entertain and give the fans a reason to come back for more. I mean, the guy's just really been on a roll. And, in spite of a couple of losses, I still look at Adrian Sensation as a force within IWE, and definitely a guy that, when motivated, can more or less outshine I want to say 90% of any roster. Even I'd go as far as 95%. But Adrian Sensation will be facing Kelly Kevin. Now some people might go, well, Kelly's hasn't won a match. But I don't think Kelly wants to go 0-5. I think Kelly really, coming off his loss to Robbie, Kelly's loss to Robbie, really wants to show what Kelly can bring, and definitely could play, spoiler for Adrian Sensation, because if Adrian loses this match, Adrian may not be in the tournament. So, there's some intrigue there. Another match that I am really looking forward to, and it's VIP number 2 in the rankings against Ruthless Ryan Davison. Now, me and Ruthless, people who've seen Texas All-Star know me and Ruthless aren't seeing eye to eye, but really it's about the belt more than anything else at Texas All-Star. But here, I think Ruthless, coming off a very big win against Cash on April 4th, really can cement that he's on a roll. And if he can beat a top guy like VIP, he can definitely get in the rankings. It's not unheard of, but I got to see if Ryan can bring his A game to VIP, who is riding high for the most part. He's looking good, and he's definitely ready to show the fans that he is the top guy in our company. And I'm very eager to see this match. And also, for the first time ever, in a battle of 2 guys in the rankings, one being the top guy in Pop, the other one, in my rankings, number 5, I'm talking about Locke. So Pop and Locke, for the first time ever, Crusader versus Crusader. I don't think you're going to see this anywhere else, and I think these 2 guys, I hope neither one really falls by the wayside, because Locke can is in the rankings, but takes another loss, he could fall out of favor, if he lays down for Pop. Who's to say, but I hope these 2 guys bring it. I think it's going to be an entertaining match. They're going to have their merchandise with them, ready to sell. Maybe there'll be a breakdancing competition. There might be a little more to this than just simple scientific wrestling. But your main event, definitely. These guys have feuded, been our first feud, and have not disappointed yet. And I'm expecting great things. I'm talking about the best 2 out of 3 falls match, lucha libre style, anything goes, no time limit. These guys could go all night if they want. Best 2 out of 3 falls. I'm speaking about Chaotic versus Mysterious Q. Like I said, a very stat card. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who might show up, who might pop in. A lot of guys have come to me and stated that they want to join the IWE and they want to be a part of the movement. I've got a lot of fans as well that have talked about it, and a lot of guys on the independent wrestling scene that are looking forward to joining us and whatnot. But now to the invitation. Now, I've always wanted to do the Lucha Lounge live. I've done it, had my very first interview segment with a fellow wrestler in Ruthless Ryan at Texas All-Star. And then I got to thinking, what better way to really get the fans involved and get the guys involved and bring this to a whole different level than to do a live Lucha Lounge prior to the show. Starting about 6:15, 6:20, and going right before start time. And who knows what topics we're going to talk about. I'm pretty much open to whatever. I invite anyone within the community that's in Houston to come in, and we can talk wrestling for some time and talk about any topic. You want to talk about WWE, you want to talk about thoughts on WrestleMania, you want to talk about thoughts on the draft, you want to talk about just wrestling in general, TNA, ROH, what have you. I'm game. I'm down. I definitely am inviting people to come aboard. Bring your cameras if you want to film. The only thing I suggest is that you put it out there. But if you want to be a part of this, comment, send me a message, let me know that you want to do this. And if all goes well, the next show that I'm a part of in Austin, I could probably do a Lucha Lounge prior to the show, but I definitely want to do them at IWE prior to every show. Talk about the state of wrestling or state of things as they're going, and I just want to bring a little bit something extra to the fans. And again, April 18th, this Saturday is going to be be awesome at Independent Arena. You know, anytime that you guys come out, anytime that you watch an IWE show, you're going to definitely get your money's worth. You're definitely going to be entertained. You know, us as a crew, we are definitely trying to, you know, raise the bar every show and make every show, every match DVD quality, television quality, you know, and just get the word out. And I mean, of course, it starts with the fans as well, you know, the ones who have been there. You know, I feel like just get the word out. Let's pack that arena. And of course, on May 2nd, our very first official DVD taping, you know, our Magnificent 7 tournament and our crowning of a champion. I hope to see everyone on April 18th as well as May 2nd. And that's about it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this IWE report. I hope you had a reason to mark out. I think you did. I know you know there's no show without Steve DeMarco. And more importantly, you're staying cool, you're staying sexy, you're staying classy because you're here at the Lucha Lounge. I'll see you later.